Compound interest acts like a constant physical tension pulling you backward, slowly draining your resources every single month. Making the decision to finally get out of debt is the easy part, but the second you look for the best way to do it, you run into a wall of conflicting advice. On one side, major financial personalities argue you should ignore the math and focus entirely on scoring quick psychological wins to build momentum. On the other side, wealth managers and economists will tell you to ignore your feelings and focus strictly on the numbers, organizing your payments to minimize your total interest costs. Choosing a strategy that ignores your specific temperament is a recipe for burnout. Your survival in this process relies more on your mindset than the math. Let's say you have a typical debt profile. You owe money on a few credit cards, a personal loan, maybe a student loan, all with different balances and drastically different interest rates. Financial planners generally agree on a core rule. Personal finance success is about 80% human behavior and only 20% mathematics. We are wired to crave momentum. When we put in the hard work, we expect results. If months go by without a visible milestone, it becomes incredibly difficult to sustain the effort. But the numbers don't care about your feelings. Mathematical efficiency is the cold calculation of keeping as much of your own capital as possible, regardless of how discouraging the day-to-day process feels. These two forces, psychological momentum and mathematical efficiency, pull in opposite directions when you sit down to clear your balances. Because behavior dominates how we handle money, forcing yourself into a strict mathematical plan that ignores human nature usually leads straight to failure. The Debt Snowball tackles behavior head-on. List all debts by total balance, smallest to largest, completely ignoring interest rates. Continue paying minimums on everything, but use every extra dollar to attack the smallest balance. Once paid, roll that payment down to the next. This creates a rapid succession of closed accounts early in the process. You get the immediate dopamine hit of crossing items off your list and reducing the sheer number of creditors knocking on your door each month. There is a literal cost to this. By keeping high-interest credit cards open while you knock out a small, low-interest loan, you will pay more total money to the banks. Those accumulating interest charges also mean your total timeline to becoming debt-free will stretch out slightly longer. With the snowball, you are intentionally buying motivation. You are paying a premium in interest to get the psychological momentum required to see the journey through. If you want to stop the bleeding and optimize your capital, you use the Debt Avalanche. This method attacks your most financially toxic accounts first. Instead of balances, list your debts by annual percentage rate, highest to lowest. Comparing timelines, eliminating the highest interest rate first means the avalanche finishes earlier and costs less, minimizing the compounding damage to your capital. The danger lies in the setup. Your credit card with a 25% interest rate might also be your largest total balance. This creates a grueling burnout phase. You could throw aggressive, heavy payments at that massive balance for an entire year without closing a single account. Without those intermittent milestones to prove your hard work is paying off, it is incredibly common for borrowers to lose steam and abandon the plan. The avalanche guarantees you will pay the absolute minimum in interest, but it requires immense emotional resilience. Burnout is its biggest hidden risk. There is a third option for people who want to change the math of their situation entirely: debt consolidation. Instead of juggling multiple chaotic due dates and rates, you take out a single consolidation loan to pay off all the smaller debts. This leaves you with one predictable, fixed monthly bill at a lower average interest rate. You can also use balance transfer credit cards, which offer introductory 0% interest windows for 12 to 21 months, freezing the compounding math, so every dollar goes straight to the principal. These tools do have barriers. You typically need good credit to get approved, and balance transfers usually charge an upfront fee of 3 to 5% of the total amount. The real trap here is behavioral. If you use a loan to clear off your credit cards, those credit lines are suddenly open again. If you haven't fixed the spending habits that created the debt in the first place, you are highly likely to max out the cards again while still owing the new loan. Changing the math on your debt without changing your underlying behavior just builds a larger, more dangerous trap. To decide which path actually works for you, you have to run an honest self-assessment of your daily financial habits. Start with the baseline question. Do you operate on a strict monthly budget where income exceeds expenses? If the answer is no and you feel burdened by the sheer number of accounts demanding attention, follow that path. This makes you the overwhelmed borrower. Your biggest threat right now isn't the bank's interest rate, it's giving up entirely out of hopelessness. Now, if you answered yes to the budget question, you track your cash flow, you remain highly disciplined, and your only real frustration is watching your capital bleed out to interest charges, you follow the other path. You are the financial optimizer. The correct strategy isn't waiting in a spreadsheet. It emerges when you diagnose your own behavioral limits. If you are the overwhelmed borrower, choose the Debt Snowball. You have full permission to ignore the mathematical inefficiency of this route. Trading a few $100s in extra interest is a worthy price to pay for the momentum you need to actually change your life. If you are the financial optimizer, choose the Debt Avalanche. Leverage your emotional discipline to ruthlessly execute the math and keep your money in your pocket. Stop agonizing over the perfect choice. Pick your method today, set up automatic payments, and lock in the behavior so you don't have to think about it again. Ultimately, the right plan isn't the one that looks best on paper. It's the one you're willing to stick with until every balance is gone.